got some news to get to on today's show, as the Browns have reached a contract extension with kicker Dustin Hopkins. Now, before we get into the details on this, let me just start by saying, not cool, Andrew Berry. I was packing up, going to go home, play NCAA 2025, and instead, I had to re-unpack, open my computer, and film this video. You could have done this tomorrow, 5 hours earlier. Not very nice by Andrew Berry to do this while all of America is getting ready to play NCAA 2025. But we can't talk about the Dustin Hopkins extension after all. He reached a 3-year, $15.9 million deal. Adam Schefter, the first one to report the extension, which now puts him under contract through 2027. Now, Hopkins is getting up there in the age column. He'll turn 34 years old this season. He has played 10 years in the NFL, 2015 through 2023. He's only played an entire season 5 times. So there are some legitimate health concerns, which is odd for a kicker. But if Hopkins can stay healthy, like we saw last year how awesome he was, the Browns sort of caught lightning in a bottle a little bit. He lost a kicker battle in LA with the Chargers to Dicker the kicker. He gets traded for, a bag of peanuts to the Browns, and he ends up being one of the best kickers in football, period, last year. So I do like this for the Browns and for Dustin Hopkins. Like, he gets to cash in a little bit in his mid-30s as a kicker. That never happened, so good for him. And good for the Browns. They've been searching for some stability at that position since Phil Dawson, and they found a really good kicker last year. So kudos to them for trying to lock it down. If this doesn't work out, if this is one of those things we look back at and go, oh my God, why did the Browns extend Dustin Hopkins? I think we can maybe look to one of two things. The health concerns, right? He suffered a groin injury, a hammy issue last year in that Texans game, if I remember correctly, on the kickoff. And the other concern would be, like, what you saw last year was uncharacteristic for the remaining years of Dustin Hopkins' career stats. Like, look at what Dustin Hopkins did last year, going 33 for 36, 91 field goal percentage, compared to his entire career where he's an 85% field goal kicker. He was 10 for 13 on kicks, 40 for 49 yards. In his career is 81%, so not too far off on that mark. But he's always been a kicker who has been known to not have the biggest and strongest leg. And last year, that was the difference maker. Like, Hopkins was so clutch for this team in so many ways, and one of them being absolute money from beyond 50 yards, a perfect 8 for 8, whereas in the rest of his career, he is 60%. So for the Browns, they definitely got a version of a kicker they did not expect to get when it came to the accuracy and the strength and just the clutch gene he had last year. Like, there were very few misses for Dustin Hopkins. Every once in a while, I think he missed 1 or 2 extra points, yeah. But aside from that, like, Dustin Hopkins, when you needed him, he delivered every single time. So I do like the extension for Hopkins and for the Browns. Like I just said, he's a good kicker. They get him locked up for not a whole lot of money, like in general NFL world. In kicker money, it's one of the highest paid contracts on average. Dustin Hopkins now tied for 5th with the Texans kicker Fairbairn, making $5.3 million a season. That's trailing the Giants kicker Graham Gano, Colts kicker Matt Gay, and then Jake Elliott and Justin Tucker making $6 million a season. I have not seen the total guarantees in his contract. He signed a 3-year, $15.9 million extension. My guess is we'll see about $7 to $9 million guaranteed. So it's basically, say, like a 2-year, $8 million contract. So if things aren't great after, 2 seasons into this extension, which, by the way, Hopkins was entering the final year of his contract. So this is not 3 years starting from this year. This is 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027. So if we're already thinking about on the way out of this contract because of if things go south with kickers always being fluky from year to year, that's the other reason why maybe this doesn't work out well is there seems to be some kind of curse where if you draft a kicker early, they're going to suck, and if you pay a kicker, they're going to suck. It's almost like the best kickers are just ones you pull off the street for a season, except for the Justin Tuckers and the Jake Elliott's of the world. But I think the Browns are trying to get their version of one of these guys, knowing it won't be as long as their careers with their respective teams, but if they can get 4 good seasons out of Dustin Hopkins and some stability amid their Super Bowl run, like that's one less hole that could need to be plugged if the kicker position starts to go down the drain because they didn't hold on to Hopkins after 2 years in Cleveland. Now, before we talk about what other news this extension could mean for guys like Amari Cooper, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I don't think there is a single other Browns YouTube host out there that, when this news broke, coinciding with the release of NCAA 2025, got a video out as soon as we did. So make sure you join nearly 35,000 strong here at the channel. So, as I've been saying, I'm fine with the extension for the Browns. I'm fine with the extension for Dustin Hopkins. But I don't know if Amari Cooper is fine with it. You got to think Coop sitting on his couch, kind of getting ready, probably working out, getting ready for training camp, or if he's going to even show up to training camp, but, working out, whatnot. And he sees that the kicker gets paid before him. Like, not to discriminate against kickers, but Amari Cooper's going to look at that and go, what the actual fuck is this? Like, I actually put up touchdowns for us, and this team is focused on extending the kicker before the star wide receiver, who's been nothing but excellent the last 2 seasons. That's the chain of command. This is the priority list. We got to get D-Hop extended before me. Like, Amari Cooper is pissed right now. He's probably happy for his guy. He probably loves the kicker because he gets the extra points and he gets the field goals and gets points on the board. Like, the last thing you want to have is a kicker you have to worry about. So for Cooper and the rest of the Browns offense, I'm sure they're elated that they've got a consistent kicker for them that's reliable and clutch. But at the same time, Cooper's thinking, he's a fucking kicker. And that's who's getting the money before me. Like, that's got to be something that gets under his skin. And I don't blame him for that. I'd be pissed off too, right? Imagine if the head chef was looking for a raise and the owner's like, but that one maitre d', he seats people like no one else I've ever seen before. Like, those are the type of things that make contract negotiations a little bit tougher. Because I don't know how close or how far they were on some type of deal, but I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes like an episode of Ballers and Cooper calls his agent and goes, yeah, slap on another 0. I can't believe they got the kicker done before me. No, we're upping the price now. No discount or anything like that. Hopefully it does not come to that, but I wouldn't rule it out. So let me know, before we get you guys back to your dynasties, should the Browns extend Amari Cooper? Give me a yes or give me a no. I meant to say this in our video we posted earlier today. Quick programming alert. Tomorrow's live show, which usually airs 5 p.m. Eastern, is going to be bumped up a couple of hours. I'm going to the MLB All-Star game, so I got to leave work a little bit earlier. So we're probably going to have a live around 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. So just going to put that on your radar right now. Sorry for any disruption in your schedule. All right, we're going to wrap up the video by picking a card. Shout out to producer Tyler Smitty, for hanging back with me, because literally the entire office left to go play NCAA. And then the news broke. So, Andrew Berry, this is not the first time you've done this, by the way, where you've dropped good news at a really inconvenient time. I like you, Barry, but that was shitty. Mr. Smitty, which card do you want to go with?
Give me the 7 of hearts.
7 of hearts? All right. For being the 5th highest paid kicker in football now, I'll go with the 5 of diamonds. No. King of spades.
Oh, not
King
even
of
close.
spades. All right. Everyone, get back to your PlayStations, your Xboxes, and we'll see you all later.